So welcome back. It's kind of a special edition video. I'm going to try to keep it short, but this is going to be a hit or miss for some people on my review and thoughts of Coloring Heaven's magazines. Now, I always promised transparency and honest review from an honest person, just everyday person, just like the rest of you. And that's what I'm going to give you. I'm not here to pick apart, downgrade, or disrespect, but I want to touch on some things on this particular magazine because it bothers me. And what bothers me is so many aspects of it. And that's not being disrespectful, but it's being honest, because there's so many little things about it which upset me. And choosing the right words is really hard because there's so many wonderfully talented artists that contribute to these magazines that it's just a shame that their work isn't presented in a better light. So here we go. First of all, it took me going to 10 different stores before I found one copy of Coloring Heaven's magazine. And believe it or not, the store I found it at was my local grocery store. None of my bookstores, my craft stores, not even Michael's carried this. Not even my local Walmart carries this magazine brand. Everybody I spoke to, whether it was store personnel or somebody who purchases the items for the stores, said they don't sell. And told me the reason why people would either return them or didn't buy them was because of the number one issue. The paper quality is so poor. So I'm going to do a flip through here and show you. So first of all, you can see down here in the corner, I don't know if you can zoom in there. If you don't know how to zoom, you can pinch and squeeze on the video like you would on a photo to zoom in and out. I paid $9.99 for this magazine. That's US dollars. But on their website, a subscription would be $35 every 3 months. I'm guessing that extra $5 is for shipping and handling. Who knows? Doesn't really say. So I want to flip right to the back really quick of this because I want you to see something. I didn't do a whole lot of digging into this company. Where did I read that? Maybe it was in the front. Maybe it was. I didn't do a whole lot of reading up on the company. So I'm not sure how they pay the artists for use of their images, whether it be piece rate, commissions, or a percentage. I don't know. So please keep that in mind when I'm talking about this. Because again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or hurtful, not to Coloring Heaven and not to any of the artists that contribute to these magazines. They are beautiful magazines, but there's some very serious flaws to this. First of all, somewhere on here I read that they changed their paper and it's more environmentally friendly. First of all paper should be environmentally friendly because it's made from trees. So that was weird to me. And it doesn't make any sense why environmentally friendly paper would be so cheapened in a book like this. I don't even know how to feel about that. To me, that's strange. You can use environmentally friendly products and still use good paper. Environmentally friendly to me means you're not contributing to overage and excesses and contaminants and pollutants. But when you're buying a adult, in quotations, adult coloring book, to use as artistic expression, and you're coloring on paper that breaks down faster than other paper, unless you just want to color in it quickly and put it to the side, that's great. But if you want to create more in-depth art, you're not going to do it on this paper because, number one, it's not going to last. And number two, it's not going to hold up. It's not going to hold your colored pencil layers, gel pens, watercolors, paints, acrylic paints, markers. It's going to just not work. You can do crayons. You can do maybe 1 or 2 layers with your colored pencils, but you're not going to get a whole lot of blending. Your blending's going to be minimal and light at best. And I'm not saying you can't create some beautiful images with basic coloring, because you can. So again, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not downplaying anybody's techniques or coloring at all, because I am not a professional. But the book bothered me. It bothered me because of the price, the paper, and that statement about environmentally friendly. That's great. I'm glad they're environmentally friendly, but this is a not adult-worthy coloring magazine. It is not. The paper is inferior, and it's insulting to the artist, in my opinion, to take such a beautiful, created piece of art and put it on paper that's going to break down quicker than quality paper. Now, I can buy a ream of 300 sheets of paper on Amazon that's 90 pound, 167 GSM for $10. The cost of this magazine. So take that, let it spin around in your head a little bit. Okay, first of all, I want to flip through here because I went through each and every image, and I can download and print every single one of these off the artist's website or their Etsy site. It's available to me for less than what it would cost me for a monthly subscription. Because if I was going to color on these pages, I would use crayons. But if I was going to create art as a colorist, I would want to take and copy this onto better paper. In turn, that's going to cost me more money for the better paper. It's going to cost me time, and it's going to cost me an ink, unless I take it to a print place to have it photocopied, but then it's going to cost me their fees, which is around 20 cents a copy. So, again, it's strange to me that this would be labeled an adult coloring book. It should just be called a coloring book for all ages. So, anyways, let's move on here. So, these first images, I'm going to say her name wrong, by Durya Kakirasoy. So, I know I said that wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize to the artist for that. Anyways, I went on her Etsy page, and these are adorable Halloween images. But $1.90, I can print these off on better paper right here at home. Cost me next to nothing. So, the images are available. There's nothing unique about this. The company that puts this magazine together as a collaborative didn't actually put or create any of the artwork that's in it. So they've obtained all this artwork from numerous artists, put it in a book, and then charge you a monthly subscription when you can just buy them off Etsy and print them on better paper. Sybil, her pages were also available. I can't remember if I wrote down the price, but Rena Art, Rena, which is some of these. I'm sorry, I'm back flipping on you here. $1.90 for Rena. Hers were also available. Oh, I think Sybil was available as a book. I can't remember. I wrote some of them down. Okay, Kevin Teo, $2.55 a print. Also available on Etsy. Purple Rose Connection, $1.87 for these pumpkin prints, which To me, it's pretty much the same pumpkin with a different door and a different set of trees in the background. Cute images, but nothing extraordinary. Graveyard Girls, very unique images. You get 26 pages on Etsy for $9.95. 26 pages, the whole entire collection of Graveyard Girls for $9.95. That's a good deal if you consider every dime you spend goes right to the artist. It's not a commission piece, so these are, again, available on Etsy. But instead of a couple, you get the whole magazine for $9.95. Carla Magana, I don't know if I said that right. Her pages were also available on Etsy. It's just unfortunate. And, you know, they do leave this page blank, but why? The paper is so thin. I have parchment paper thicker than, look, you can see the image through the paper. This is no better than typing paper from when I was in junior high. I don't even think it's 20-pound paper. But why leave the back of it blank? It doesn't matter. You can't use markers, watercolors, or paints on this paper anyway. Silly to me. That is just silly. So, I mean, you could use the back of the page and double the images in this book for the cost that you're paying for a subscription. So, beautiful line art. Again, look at the art by Aliyah. Again, her images are available to purchase on Etsy. 3 pages, all 3 of these pages for $5.99. So then you have Medusa Doll Maker, $1.93 a page for a print. And you download them, and you have the print forever. You could print it as many times as you want. There's no limit. Now, Dracula, all of these images, all available by Medusa Doll Maker. Enes Guerrero, this was the one artist that I found on Etsy where these prints that are in this magazine are not available on Etsy. I think he was from Brazil. That's not to say these images won't be uploaded to his Etsy site, available for purchase at a later date. They're just not there yet. But you will see, if you go on his Etsy page, all the similar images that he's provided for in this magazine. Again, I didn't count, but I'm guessing around 40 pages in this magazine. So, it's a great collaborative of a book. I understand the theory behind it is to bring a group of artists together, provide all these images in one magazine to make it easy for people who either don't have access to print these off, or whatever the reason. But it's so insulting to every artist that provides these images to print these on such poor quality paper and charge a premium price. And when I say premium price, I have an example here for you. Now, I do understand the overhead costs because they're probably paying the artists a percentage or commissions to have use of their images in these magazines to provide them to you at a subscription rate. So I do understand that, again, this isn't to be disrespectful, but it just really bothered me that there's nothing unique or special about this magazine to charge me $35 every 3 months for a subscription. So I won't be subscribing, and I don't think I'll be going out of my way and looking in 10 different stores just to find one copy of a magazine when I finally know why. I just wanted to know what all the hype was about. It's a beautiful magazine. The quality is not there for adult coloring. It is there for hobby coloring. It is there for just everyday quick coloring for crayons. But the images scream adult. The paper screams child. So I'm going to move this aside, but I want to show you this. This book is off of Amazon. It costs $6.99. $6.99. There's double the amount of images in here. The paper quality is better. The book is smaller, but again, the number of pictures is double. And this book is made by Redwood Cottage Press. And I picked this book up intentionally to compare them, to show you what I mean. So I'm not going to go through the whole book, but this book is not artist related. There's a lot of clip art created in here, digital artwork, and you can completely tell these are pieced together clip art pictures. But look at the paper. The paper is far better for $6.99, and you get twice the amount of pictures to color. So some of the images are really cool if you like this type of coloring. They've blacked out the back of it, which again, blacking out the back of it on paper that's not artist quality is pointless because you can't use wet mediums on this anyway. So why worry about bleed through? Silly. That's a waste of money right here doing this. Just like the Coloring Haven, why leave the back of that page blank just to put the artist's name when you could put that on the bottom of the picture? It's a waste of paper for an environmentally friendly magazine. Especially when you can see through it. I can see the image on the other side of that paper. It is so thin. Okay, so anyway, just a quick flip here of some of these images. Some of them are really cool. But for $6.99, you get twice as much and on better paper from Amazon. Or I could pay $10 for less than half the amount on inferior paper that I can't even use to color a picture. So I know I'll probably get some lashings for this, and I'll probably get some hate mail and some, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But when I think about it, and I look at books like Joanna Basford, Maria Trawl, those books, the price points are still spot on, between $12 and $15 a book. You get beautiful imagery, 80 pages in some cases, on quality paper, and unique line art that is created by the artist of that book. There is no line art in these magazines created by the people at Coloring Haven. These are all artists that they have paid for use of these images, and they've printed them on such inferior paper. Now, I did read somewhere that it said they launched, and then I don't know what happened. I didn't get the details, but then they had a relaunch and they changed everything. Well, that relaunch could have been good or bad for all I know. But the bad is, it's an insult to the artist to put this kind of artwork on this kind of paper, call it an adult coloring book, and charge $35 every 3 months for a subscription to a book that even here in the US is only $9.99. So, I hope you're not too angry at me, and I hope this review wasn't too harsh. I'm not trying to be disrespectful again. I'm not trying to be mean. I am always honest. And although I adore a lot of the line art that is created by the artists in these books, this is nothing against the artwork. It is all about how the book is put together, the paper it's printed on. It just doesn't scream adult coloring to me. I don't understand it. And it's a shame, it really is. Maybe Coloring Heaven, will change their ways and start printing these books on better paper. I frankly would rather pay $15 to $18 a book like this, $20 a book, $25 a book, but put it on better paper, because it's not okay. It's terrible, terrible. I can use this to bake cookies on in my oven. Anyways, for all the fans out there of Coloring Heaven, I am so sorry. Please don't hate me too much. This is just an opinion. It has nothing to do with the artistic talents in this book. It has nothing to do with the manufacturers of Coloring Heaven. This is their magazine. They created it. And good on them for making a small business out of a wonderful hobby. It's just a magazine I will probably never buy again. And I certainly won't subscribe to at those prices when I can simply download the images right off Etsy and print them right on better paper. As always, happy creating honest reviews from an everyday person.